Hello, and welcome to another episode of our English Learning Podcast. I'm Sarah, and I'm really glad you're here again. Today, we're going to talk about something that happens to all of us every single day. We make choices, big choices, small choices, choices about what to eat, where to go, what to wear, who to spend time with. Our lives are basically a series of choices. Understanding how to talk about choices and decisions in English is really useful, so I hope you'll find this episode helpful. Let me start with small, everyday choices. Every day, I make dozens of small decisions. When I wake up, I decide what to wear. This might sound simple, but actually, many people spend a lot of time deciding what to wear. Why? Because our clothes are part of how we show ourselves to the world. I have a friend, Lisa, who has this problem. She stands in front of her closet for 15 minutes trying to decide what to wear. She says she doesn't know what to choose. Meanwhile, her husband, David, just puts on the first thing he sees. He doesn't think about it at all. They are very different. David is the kind of person who doesn't make decisions. He just does whatever comes first. Lisa is the kind of person who overthinks every choice. Neither way is perfect. If you make choices too quickly, you might not think about what you really want. But if you think too long about every choice, you might waste time and never actually decide anything. Another small choice I make every day is what to eat. Today, I had to choose between oatmeal and eggs for breakfast. I thought about what my body needed. I had exercised yesterday, so I needed good protein. I decided on eggs. This is a small choice, but it affects my body and my health. Now, let me tell you something interesting about choices. Scientists have studied this. When you make many small decisions throughout the day, your brain gets tired. This is called decision fatigue. By the end of the day, you might have trouble making bigger decisions because your brain is tired from making many little ones. This is why some successful people wear the same thing every day. Steve Jobs always wore a black turtleneck and blue jeans. He said that by wearing the same thing, he didn't have to make choices about clothes. This freed up his mental energy to make better decisions about important things like his work. I find this idea really interesting. Maybe I should try this. Maybe I should wear similar clothes every day. But then again, I like to wear different things. I like expressing myself through my clothes. So I make the choice to spend time thinking about my clothes because it makes me happy. Now let's talk about bigger choices. These are choices that affect your life more seriously. Maybe you choose what job to do, or you choose where to live, or you choose whether to stay in a relationship. These choices are more difficult because they have bigger consequences. I have a story to share with you. 5 years ago, I had to make a big choice. I was working at a company that paid well, but I didn't love my job. I was a manager and I managed people, but it didn't make me feel happy. Every day I felt stressed and tired. On the other hand, I loved writing and teaching. I loved helping people learn. My family asked me, "Why do you want to leave a good job?" I didn't have a perfect answer. I just knew that I wanted something different. I wanted work that made me feel excited. So I made the choice to leave. I started teaching English and writing. The first year was difficult. I made less money. I had to be careful with my budget. But I was happy. I felt satisfied. When I came home from work, I didn't feel exhausted. I felt tired, but in a good way, like my energy had been used for something I believed in. Making this choice taught me something. Sometimes the choice that seems scarier is actually the right one. Sometimes you have to trust your feelings, not just think about the practical things. So, how do you make good choices? Let me share some advice. First, you should get information. Don't make big choices without learning about your options. If you're choosing a new apartment, visit the place. If you're choosing a new job, ask questions about the work. If you're choosing a school, look at the courses they offer. Second, you should think about your values. What's important to you? Is it money? Is it happiness? Is it having time with your family? Is it helping others? When you know what your values are, choices become easier because you can judge your options based on these values. Third, you should talk to people you trust. Talk to your family, your friends, or maybe a counselor. Other people might see things that you don't see. They can ask you questions that help you think more clearly. Fourth, you should give yourself time. Don't make important choices when you're emotional or tired. Wait until you feel calm and clear. Some people make the mistake of making big decisions when they're angry or very sad. These decisions often don't turn out well. Fifth, you should accept that no choice is perfect. Every choice has good things and bad things. If you wait for the perfect choice, you'll wait forever. Sometimes you just have to choose the best option available and accept that it's not perfect. Finally, and this is important, you should be willing to change your mind. Making a choice doesn't mean you can never change it. If you choose something and it doesn't work out, you can usually make a different choice. Very few choices are permanent. Don't be afraid to change direction if you discover you made a mistake. You know, choosing to learn English is a choice you've made. Every time you listen to this podcast, you're choosing to spend your time on English learning. Maybe you made this choice because you want a better job. Maybe you made this choice because you want to travel and talk to people from other countries. Maybe you made this choice because you want to understand movies and books in English. Whatever your reason, I want to tell you that your choice is good. Learning a language is hard. It takes time and patience. There will be days when you feel frustrated because you don't understand something. There will be days when you think, maybe I'm not good at languages. On these days, remember that you made a choice to do this, and you can continue to choose to keep going. Learning is a process. You don't learn a language in one day or even in 1 month. But if you make the choice every day to practice, even for a short time, you will improve. I promise you this. The small choices you make every day add up. One day, you'll be able to have a conversation in English and you'll realize, I understand, I can do this. Now I want you to think about choices. What choice have you made recently that you're happy about? What choice are you thinking about making now? Maybe you're thinking about making a big change, or maybe you're just deciding what to eat tomorrow. If you're thinking about a choice right now, remember what we talked about. Get information. Think about your values. Talk to people you trust. Give yourself time. And remember that choices can change. Let me give you some important words from this episode. A choice is when you pick one thing instead of another. A decision is similar. It means you choose something. Consequence means what happens because of something you do. Value means something that's important to you. To overthink means to think too much about something. Decision fatigue means your brain feels tired from making many choices. Thank you for listening to this episode about choices. I hope you found it helpful. Remember, you're making good choices by learning English every day. I'm proud of you for that. Let me ask you a simple question. What is friendship? This is actually harder to answer than you might think. Different people have different ideas about what friendship means. For me, friendship means trust. It means you can tell your friend something, and they won't tell everyone else. It means you believe that your friend wants good things for you. It means you don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. I have 3 very close friends. I've known one of them, Emma, since we were children. We grew up together. We know everything about each other. We've seen each other at our best and at our worst. Emma knows my family, and I know hers. We've had fights, but we always fix things. This is deep friendship. We call this a best friend. A best friend is someone you're extremely close to. I have 2 other close friends. One is named Michael. I met Michael at university. We were in the same classes and we became friends through studying together. We spent a lot of time talking about our classes and life. The other is named Sophie. I met Sophie through work. We worked together for 3 years, and during that time, we became very close. Now, here's something interesting. Emma and I are friends for life. We'll probably stay friends no matter what. Michael and Sophie are also very important friends, but the circumstances are different. If Michael and I didn't go to university together anymore, would we still be friends? Maybe. Actually, we are still friends, even though we don't go to university together anymore. We see each other sometimes, and we message each other. So yes, we're still friends. But let me be honest, the friendship with Emma is different because it's deeper and longer. Does this mean the friendships with Michael and Sophie are not real friendships? No, of course not. They're real friendships. They're just different kinds of friendships. There are different kinds of friendships, actually. Let me explain this. First, there are close friends or best friends. These are the people you tell your secrets to. These are the people you call when something bad happens or something wonderful happens. You might have one best friend or a few close friends. Then there are good friends. Good friends are people you like a lot and you spend time with regularly. You tell them important things about yourself, but maybe not absolutely everything. They're important in your life. Then there are casual friends or friendly acquaintances. These are people you like and you enjoy spending time with, but you don't know them very deeply. You might see them once a month or a few times a year. You talk about surface things, maybe about work or hobbies, but not deep personal things. Then there are acquaintances. These are people you know, but not very well. Maybe you see them at the gym or in your neighborhood. You say hello, but you don't have real conversations. Finally, there are friends on social media. These are people you have on Facebook or Instagram. You don't know them well, or maybe you don't know them at all, but you follow their lives online. Some people have hundreds of these friends. Now, all of these are different, and I think it's important to understand the difference. When someone asks you, "How many friends do you have?" the answer depends on what they mean by friends. If they mean close friends, maybe I have 3. If they mean good friends, maybe I have 5 or 6. If they mean casual friends, I have maybe 10 or 15. If they mean social media friends, I have several hundred. In modern life, I think we sometimes confuse these. We think that having many social media friends means we're social, but actually, having a few real friends is more valuable than having hundreds of online friends. Here's something many people find difficult. Making friends as an adult is harder than making friends as a child. When you're in school, you see the same people every day. You're in classes together, you eat lunch together, you play together. Friendship happens naturally, but when you're an adult, it's different. You go to work, you might work with some people you could be friends with, but not always. You come home. You might not see the same people tomorrow. Making friends takes more effort. How do you make friends as an adult? Here are some ideas. First, you can find groups or clubs related to your interests. Maybe you love running. You could join a running club. Maybe you love reading. You could join a book club. When you do activities you love, you meet people who love those same things. This is a good foundation for friendship. Second, you can be intentional about spending time with people. If you meet someone at work and you think, this person is nice, I like them, then invite them to do something. You could say, would you like to have coffee together? Or would you like to have lunch? Most people appreciate when someone invites them because making friends is hard for everyone. Third, you can be the kind of person that other people want to be friends with. What does this mean? It means being a good listener. It means being honest. It means being kind and supportive. It means remembering things people tell you. It means showing interest in other people's lives. Once you have friends, you need to maintain the friendship. This means you need to spend time together, and you need to communicate. I have a sad story. A few years ago, I had a friend. Let's call her Rachel. Rachel and I were close for about 5 years. But then, I became very busy with work, and Rachel moved to a different city. We said we would stay in touch, but we didn't. We didn't message. We didn't call. We didn't visit. And slowly, the friendship just disappeared. Now, if I saw Rachel, we would recognize each other, but we're not friends anymore. This happens to many people. The friendship didn't end because of a big fight. It just faded away because we didn't spend time together and we didn't communicate. So if you want to keep your friendship strong, you need to do things. You need to message your friends sometimes. You need to call them. You need to see them in person when you can. You need to ask about their lives and really listen to their answers. Now, I want to say something important. You don't need to see your friends every day or every week. Friendships can survive if you see each other less often. But you do need to stay connected. You need to show that you care. Here's what I do. I have one friend I see almost every week. We go for coffee. I have another friend I see about once a month. I have friends I see a few times a year. And I have friends I message sometimes even though I don't see them in person. All of these are real friendships, but they're different levels. Friendships are wonderful, but they can also be challenging. Let me talk about some difficulties. First, friends sometimes disappoint us. Maybe your friend says they'll come to your birthday party and they don't come. Maybe your friend makes a joke that hurts your feelings. Maybe your friend talks about you to other people and this makes you feel betrayed. What should you do? Well, first you can try to talk about it. You can say, "When you did this, it made me feel this way." Most real friends will listen and they'll try to do better. Second, friends sometimes change. Maybe you were both interested in music and parties, but now your friend is interested in their family and quiet weekends. Maybe you want different things from life. This is normal. People change. And sometimes friendship can change too. You might stay friends, but it's a different kind of friendship. Third, sometimes friends have conflicts. Maybe there's a situation where you disagree about something important. Maybe your friend did something you think is wrong. What do you do? I think the most important thing is to talk. Don't just avoid your friend or talk about them to other people. Talk directly to them. Say what you think and feel, but do it gently. Listen to their side of the story too. Sometimes you can fix the problem. Sometimes you can't, but at least you tried. Here's something interesting. Different cultures have different ideas about friendship. In some cultures, friendship is very formal. You don't become someone's friend quickly. You need to know someone for a long time before you call them your friend. In other cultures, people make friends more quickly. People might call someone their friend after knowing them for just a few weeks. In some cultures, it's common for adults to have many friends, and the friendships are not very deep. People see each other at parties and events, but they don't talk about personal things. In other cultures, people have fewer friends, but the friendships are very deep. People tell each other everything. Neither way is right or wrong. They're just different. If you're learning English and you want to make English-speaking friends, it's good to understand what friendship means in English-speaking cultures. Now, I want you to think about your own friendships. How many close friends do you have? How did you meet them? What makes them special to you? Are there friendships you want to strengthen? Are there new friendships you want to make? And here's a challenge for you. In the next week, reach out to a friend, message them or call them. Tell them you're thinking about them. I bet they'll be happy to hear from you. Let me give you some vocabulary words. Friendship is the relationship between friends. Trust means you believe someone is honest and won't hurt you. To confide means to tell someone something secret. A best friend is your closest friend. To maintain means to keep something going. A conflict is a disagreement or fight. To betray means to do something that hurts someone's trust. Friends are one of life's greatest gifts. Taking time to think about your friendships and to maintain them is time well spent. Whether you have many friends or just a few, what matters is that your friendships are real and meaningful. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed learning about friendship, and I hope you take time to appreciate the friends in your life.